Welcome to our D2L Fusion 2024 on-demand session. This session is third-party vendors and overview of using a questionnaire. Hi, my name is Michael Campbell, and I work as a business analyst with the Georgia View team that supports Brightspace for the University System of Georgia Board of Regents. I've had the privilege of working with the team since 2012 when the system was migrating to Brightspace. Prior to that time, I've worked over 8 years in software development in private and public sectors. I received my Master's of Education in Learning Design and Technology from the University of Georgia. I'll turn it over to my co-presenter, William.
Hi, thanks, Mike. My name is William Immonen, and I'm a business systems analyst for the University System of Georgia. I also support Brightspace with our Georgia View team. I specialize in third-party integrations. I have 2 master's degrees, my first one in learning design and technology, and then my most recent one is Master's of Business and Technology. I've been in IT for over 16 years now, and I have had the pleasure of working the past little over a year with Mike and the talented Georgia View team. We have our agenda broken down into 5 parts, starting with the introduction about the presenters, followed by a history of the University System of Georgia integrations with Brightspace. From there, we will present information about USG's custom tool for security review, our questionnaire, followed by a review of the third-party integrations process and concluding with final comments and the location for downloading sample files. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about an overview of the University System of Georgia in general, and then discuss where things stood in 2013 with the go-live transition to Brightspace? As far as the integrations are concerned, please cover some details of how the USG integration process started for the security questionnaire and review.
Thank you, William. As you mentioned, the first of 2013 was when we went live on Brightspace. The USG system is comprised of 26 campuses around the state. Our ITS office is located in Athens, Georgia. All but one campus in our system uses the Brightspace LMS. One of the reasons for being on one LMS across our campuses is to provide a familiar environment for students if they transition from one campus to another or decide to take classes in our online degree programs in eCampus or Web MBA. Also, D2L admins and instructors across the system can help each other by providing insights into what works or does not work for them when using the LMS. Our Georgia View team is in charge of providing support for the LMS across the state in a variety of ways. William and I provide third-party integration support for the campuses. Each campus has at least one D2L administrator who, depending on the size and staffing of the campus, could be a one-stop shop for IT for all the campus, all the way to providing specific LMS needs to instructors. We love our admins and the community of learning we have developed over the years together. In addition, on the support side, we've also engaged with D2L to provide USG campuses with a DHC or D2L Help Center for instructors and students. Admins may open cases with our Georgia View team anytime there is a need. Hopefully, this overview has been useful in showing our support structure before we move forward to the third-party review process. When we first started with Brightspace, we were only integrating with 3 integrations: Blackboard Collaborate, Turnitin, and Respondus Lockdown Browser. As part of the rollout of Brightspace, each campus may use any reviewed third-party integration. Before we get to the process, William, will you show us where we are now with integrations?
Sure, thanks, Mike. As you can see from this very interesting bubble chart, we have 29 distinct categories. Those are the yellow categories, with over 219 integrations. This bubble chart was our attempt to visually represent everything that we have currently. And just for those of you that are very curious, we want to let you know that each instance of legacy LTI, being 1.1 or 1.2, is considered a single integration. An API is considered a single integration, and LTI 1.3 is considered a single integration. Those of you that really want to know what this big blob over on the right side is, that's the course content collaboration category, and we have over 107 integrations in there. Now we're going to zoom into one category for the next slide. On this slide, you can see the student assessment category. And you can see that we have all three distinct types of integrations. The gray are our legacy LTIs, where we just lumped 1.1 and 1.2. The green are our 1.3 LTIs, and the orange is the API only. We do have a few other combinations where LTI with API and LTI 1.3 with API, but we just lump those with the LTIs as the standard. Now we're going to move on to Mike to discuss our integration process.
Here is the contents page from our business process, which was developed early on after going live with Brightspace. I wanted to have this in the recording in case someone was interested in the overall process. Regarding the questionnaire specifically, each of the 219 integrations William mentioned must have a current questionnaire review on file with our USG team. The questionnaire does need to be renewed every 2 years or before a major upgrade to the integration is installed in production. The questionnaires are available to the LMS administrators. In 2021, we added our USG cybersecurity team to the review process. They have been a welcome addition to the process. With their expertise, they are able to ask about additional details that otherwise may not have been considered. Let me show and walk you through a flowchart of our process. Starting in the upper left corner with step 1 of the 4 steps, we have a request from the designated campus D2L admin to our Georgia View team for the integration that does not currently exist on our official list of reviewed USG integrations. In other words, this flowchart is showing the process for a brand new integration. After receiving the request, we send an email to the vendor in step 2 with the USG questionnaire form to be filled out with the details stating that it is a requirement, but they do get a benefit of being on the list of reviewed integrations for all the system's campuses for 2 years. Depending on the responsiveness of the vendor, step 2 between the vendor and our team could take between 1 week, which is, by the way, the current standing record, to as much as 4 months in some cases. We do try and remind the vendors to fill out the form from time to time as needed. Step 3 starts with obtaining a completed questionnaire from the vendor, where we then send the document to our cybersecurity team, along with any additional information or documents provided by the vendor. These additional documents could include VPATs, HECBAT, SOC2s, or other documents. As a quick note, we only ask for a meeting between a vendor and the cybersecurity if clarification is needed that cannot be communicated easily by email. The end of step 3 is when our cybersecurity review is completed with no additional questions for the vendor. In step 4, we notify the campus that they may now install the integration into production. Each campus does have a testing environment in which they have the option of installing the integration before the questionnaire is back from the vendor. We then notify the vendor that the review is complete. The documents completed for the review are shared via a Brightspace course for our D2L admin community. Some vendors do require an NDA be signed to share some information with the campus and our USG team. This information that is covered by the NDA is not shared outside of the campus and the university system office departments needed to complete the review.
Mike, why did the USG make the decision to require a custom security questionnaire document review rather than just using the HECVAT?
Well, when we went to Brightspace in 2013, we found that there was not a HECVAT type of document in circulation. So we decided on the custom questionnaire method. This has helped us in many ways, including by having our Georgia View team handle the review process centrally. We see benefits of a streamlined review process that provides a document that is accessible to all of our campus administrators. The document is easy to understand, and if needed by the campus, may ask additional questions to the vendor. The document, however, is still a great first stop resource. Modifying the questionnaire is easy, and having the consistency of one document for each integration makes comparisons easy. Our stakeholders are pleased with the current process. We do allow an exception pathway, however, if a very rare exception is needed. William, will you tell us some of the downsides of the questionnaire?
Sure. Thanks, Mike. As you all are aware, there is no perfect solution, and the questionnaire exemplifies that. However, it does work really well for us. Unfortunately, some of the downsides to using a custom questionnaire range to the vendors having a lack of resources to complete or being unwilling to complete. Some of the vendors require NDAs, which are additional time and investment on the campus. Some of the smaller vendors just outright refuse us or just don't have the resources to complete it. And there are increased wait times due to it requiring vendors to take at least a week. That's our current Gold Star winner. And up to 4 months. I think we may even have had one take a year to complete. The largest downside to our integration, again, is our review total time process from start to end. We are working to streamline this and see if there are ways that we can reduce this time, but usually the admins are happy, although we do have a few frustrating circumstances from time to time. Now we are going to transition to the final comments portion of the presentation. Mike, do you have any final comments for us?
Some final thoughts. If you are considering a questionnaire, have a central group that handles the process with the backing of a system or campus level CIO. Involve your cybersecurity team or someone with cybersecurity training. Always remember that vendors are partners in the process, but trust and verify any claims as needed with internal testing and engage the Brightspace partners team if necessary. When we say reviewed, not certified, this basically means that the integration has been reviewed by our cybersecurity team and the Georgia View team. This does not mean that we have certified the integration to be 100% on all their claims in the security questionnaire. No one can do this.
For the resources slide, you should be able to find our recording, and all the additional attachments should be in that Fusion page with the recording. So you should be able to find our presentation, PowerPoint, our vendor questionnaire sample, and the request to vendor email sample. And as a final plug, during Fusion, I have another presentation which I hope that you guys will find very entertaining and beneficial. It's called What is LTI and Where is it going and How is it used? Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. I hope this has been very beneficial for you and that it will help you guys institute some awesome processes at your systems.
Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a great day and a great conference.